Eclipse of the moon, folks. The Earth comes between the moon and the sun. I guess it started. It's supposed to be from 2 to 4. Yeah, it has started. Remember how bright and full it was when we looked at it? Oh, Amadeus wants to go out. That means he'll have to come in again. I'll have to wake up again. But this is the eclipse, alright. I'm looking out the front portal here, and I'm looking west to the south. And this is supposed to happen every 500 years. Yep, there's the shape of the Earth. Yep, that's our full moon covered up almost. It's going to be complete. Moon eclipse. The Joy Book. It notes on the winter solstice how it can be predicted, the prediction possible, because of the precision possible, because of God's creating. We know when the winter solstice is coming, to the very hour and to the very minute. Another marvel is that God taught that to people, revealed it to people. God of our fathers, whose almighty hand leads forth in beauty all the starry band of shining worlds in splendor through the sky, our grateful song before thy throne arise. And George McDermott said last night that it won't happen again for another 500 years. That's more phenomenal prediction because of God's precision, because of God's creating. The winter solstice, 2010 Anno Domini. Amen. Eclipse of the moon on the winter solstice. We don't see the planets. We don't see Jupiter anymore, and we don't see Venus. Today we don't even see the sun, covered again by clouds. The dye instructions. This year's revision. And copies have been distributed to Trustee Devin McConnell He's our next generation trustee, 17 years old. Trustees Andrew and Lynn, and to Victoria, and Trustee Linda and George Dixon, why does it give you the hiccups? And Trustee Jacqueline Dixon Bachman, and Trustee and it's all done in happiness. Wait a second, folks, I have to turn off the recorder while I think of the fifth trustee it went to. Oh, it went to me. Original trustee Glendora. It's over here somewhere. Yeah. That's where the fifth one went. Now, this was the next five that were printed on that trusty Canon copier by the front portal. Trustee Gregory Washburn. Trustee Andrew Hersman. And it's Trustee Andrew Hersman. In Long Island. It's 60 pages. And to Marjorie Dugan in North Chatham, and to Charles Daniel Schoonover, also on Funnyside Drive. And to Are you a trustee.com? I've told the trustees to take care of you.com if I go to heaven before you do. To Dorothy and Mary Kennett, neighbors. And that's all. That would be 10 of them. They also live on Funnyside Drive. Let's put these great big letters, just they don't mean anything, but just for the fun of it. Don't you think this would be a happy thing to do? Fun thing to do? Put these great big letters on them. Adds color. Alright, we'll do that. In the presence of happiness. The whole thing has been done in happiness. Tweety, 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 Tweety. I think I heard Tweety Bird. I think we're going to try to start the 1980 Lincoln. And if it starts and we exercise it, we won't have to boost the battery. Poor battery has lasted valiantly.
Number 9, on the Sabbath.
Microcassette number 9, God tape.
Surrender of all to God, love of God, living continuously to in consciousness of His presence, occasional assent to the blissful experience of soul union with God. I want to work on that one. Brother Lawrence pauses to make other points. The need for renunciation, for rigid self-discipline, but without mortification. For charity, we do enough of that. For humility, and the superiority of the way of the heart over the way of the intelligence. Yes, this is all summarized very nicely. We've certainly heard this over and over again. But these are secondary. Central, fundamental, outstanding on each group of writings or reported sayings is the importance of the habit of quickening the soul into the sense of the divine presence. Absolutely. And that's what we're doing now. the book, and we do it when we're about tidying the kitchen, videotaping the moon, which is spectacular tonight. Clear sky. And the moon is rising east of north. It's really rising in the north. And Tuesday, the days start getting longer. I have enjoyed the darkness of November, though, and December. I've just gone to bed practically when it gets dark. It's dark now. It gets dark about 4:40. You get light about 7:20. But these are secondary. These are beautiful words. Central, fundamental, outstanding in each group of writings or reported sayings is the importance of the habit of quickening the soul into the sense of the divine presence. Indeed it is. Of the presence of happiness. Brother Lawrence is certain. This is sanctuary God. This is their sanctuary God at the desk. 6, the universe. Didn't we see it in action last night with the eclipse of the moon and the rise of the moon and the winter solstice? Didn't we see it all? All that we saw last night. Yeah. Born. My mother and father kept me alive. 1-year-old to 5-year-old. 1 day old to 5-year-old. 6-year-old to 10-year-old. First Colonel Lincoln in Bangor. 11-year-old to 15-year-old. Junior high school, and high school. 16-year-old to 20-year-old. High school to college. 21-year-old to 25-year-old. College, California, Berkeley, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., 316 Union Street, Hiawatha Street, 19 Colonial Avenue. How old were you in 1954? 26. Marriage. First television show, Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Second television show, Manchester, Vermont. Manchester, Connecticut. Summer resorts, working as a waitress. Forbes and Wallace, high school. Thank you. Born, alive. To 30 on my own. You took care of me, God. Marriage. Milton Bradley, Boston, WBZ-TV, General Electric, WRGB. What years were those? 26 to 30. Up to 58, 1958, WRGB. Born, alive, and healthy. '31 to 35, Franklin. What years are they? 59, 60, 61, 62, 63. Springfield, Massachusetts Union, City Editor Desk. Buffalo News. Big improvement. Helped him do it. Done. WRGB, Channel 6 Schenectady. Buffalo. Looking for God. Not having to work. Not having pressures. Looking for God. Far, far from it. But starting. Christ, 31, 32, 33. Buddha, 35. Illumination. 29 to 35. 29 years old to 35. On the wrong track. Buddha on the wrong track. But looking. And getting somewhere. What'd you do 36 to 40? What years were they? 64, 65, 66, 67, 68. Church school, Monday through Friday. Be perfect. We wrote the book, Be Perfect. We were getting closer and closer to God. But not a nice person. Well, nice and bad. Trying. Nancy Crosby. Asbury, Delaware Methodist Church, 1968, graduate school, the university to find out about the universe. And that's square 6. Offering every act to God before we undertake it, and rendering thanks for God. And when we thanks for God's aid when we have done. Yes, I thank you for this, God, during passing on the message of Brother Lawrence, which is perfect. The most effective way of going to God is that of doing one's common business without any purpose of pleasing people, but purely for the love of God. Okay. Apply that to the next job. What's the next job? We're supposed to eat nuts. That's the next thing on the to-do list. Supposed to look at the computer for 15 minutes. Okay. Not supposed to be any jobs on the Sabbath. God is resting. It's supposed to be very quiet. The most effective way of going to God is that of doing one's common business without any purpose of pleasing people, but purely for love of Him, of course. I I love you, God. One deludes oneself in believing that the times of prayer should be considered different from other times. Action has its responsibility to God, as prayer has its. What's that point? He said that he was as close to God doing his action as he was his prayers. We might then, once for all, place our unreserved trust in happiness in God, completely surrendering ourselves to happiness, assured that God's will, that God will not fail us. Yeah, that's for sure. God will not fail us. The steps in what may be called the personal path of the pilgrim are described at one point in the Maxims more categorically, and this is another quote. The first is a great purity of life, a guarding oneself watchfully, lest one do, say, or think a thing displeasing to God. Say, think, or do anything displeasing to God. And in failure, an immediate and sincere repentance thereof, and humility in entreating forgiveness. The second is a positive faithfulness in the practice of life presence, of God's presence. The second is a positive faithfulness in the practice of God's presence. A keeping of the soul's eyes upon God, calmly, trustfully, humbly, with a love that leaves no room for care or doubt. Beautiful. We'll say those as we do our work. Beautiful. The third is a looking to God when taking up any common task. You know, we did that. A prayer to God at the beginning, a reliance during discharge of the task, and thanks when it is completed. Okay, we can do better than that. We can do better on that. The fourth is an offering up of words of love in silence and hiddenly as, quote, my Lord, I am wholly thine, unquote. Yeah, we do that with our count blessings, count pure thoughts. And, quote, oh God, make my heart even as thine, or such earlier words of loving trust as may rise out of occasion. Be heedful that thee, mine, wander not back to the world. Let it be steadfast to God. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Next is 15 minutes of chores or whatever. And you have to state the task and continue in the presence of God. Gotta do the nuts and I gotta do the apple. Okay, the next task is to go to sleep for 15 minutes. Go ahead. The body needs it. The body's worked very hard today. Let's go. All right. Did you set the clock for 15 minutes? No, I will. p.m. Joy, God's creation of sleep. A marvel. A marvelous creation. Last page of Brother Lawrence. And contacts the constant vision of God, loving and loved. Ooh, that's really nice. Loving and loved. That fits happiness, doesn't it? Loving and loved. This is the holiest, most real, and most inspiring raw manner of devotion. Well, whether it's most or not, it's good enough for us. Last page. France in the 17th century was committing itself more assiduously than any other nation in the faith that man can advance without a faith. Midway between the skeptic Montague and the brilliantly atheistic Voltaire, there stands, in the range of French letters and philosophy, the different and lonely figure of Pascal, mystically converted and trying vainly to stem the tide of irreligion and skepticism. People. Next to the last paragraph. Beside him, almost unnoticed in his own time, there is this other constructive mystic, too humble to challenge the attention of historians or philosophers, yet author of a booklet strongly circulated in countless editions and treasured through more than 2 centuries by pilgrims seeking the way back to faith and divine companionship. We seek divine companionship. We seek divine companionship. Saintly but unsated, saintly but unsainted, uneducated, but a natural teacher of people. Brother Lawrence seems destined to influence increasing